mocking of the Trinity. A lot of people believe that to be. Basically, it was causing a lot of just oppressive energy.
All right, so we are back in Cameron, West Virginia, and when we investigated the haunted house on Main last year, it was a possible location for Steve to move his paranormal museum.
Hello?
Whoa, it just came back on.
Holy sh**.
Are you kidding me? What the f***, man? Are you f***ing with me right now?
Hello?
Just walked in, the freaking light just turned on.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude, I have chills. I don't have an explanation for how that could be possible. Since then, we found out that there are 2 confirmed deaths inside the house, as well as 1 death that was linked to this property. And Steve has actually decided that he is going to move his museum with all of his cursed and haunted relics and items inside this house. So tonight, we are going to be spending the night to see how the entities and energies attached to his items may interact with the spirits and entities that are already here inside this house. It's going to be very interesting because not only does Steve have very historical and haunted relics, but he also has items that we have collected through our paranormal quest at some of the most intense, active, and haunted locations that we have ever been to.
I see things look like that. Never get it right. There's something. What's that?
What?
Is there scratch marks on your back?
Up here?
Yeah.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
You are
Don't move, don't move. 1, 2, 3.
So tonight, not only will we be returning to this house, but we'll also be returning to many other past investigations, some of those investigations that shook us to the core. We are very excited and anxious to see what spirits and entities will talk to us tonight. You decided to put your museum here inside this building.
I did. Everything just kind of worked out with the building. Some of the history that I was able to obtain from a person who used to live here just kind of helped me make my mind up with it. Felt good. Felt like the right place to be.
And have you had any paranormal experiences since you moved your stuff in?
Yeah, there's been some pretty interesting things happen during the process of moving in. And I kind of anticipated that. You know, I kind of was, I won't say hoping to see that, but yeah. It's like throwing a rock into a lake. It's going to make ripples. So there's been a lot of footsteps, shuffling sounds, knocking sounds. Vicky, our first day when we got here, which was yesterday, we opened up to the public. She went up to turn the lights on upstairs, and in our cursed relics room, where we keep our malevolently charged items, if you will, noticed that the closet door, which we always keep open, we use it for as a display for one of our main highly sought after relics, was closed, and there's no draft. The door itself does not automatically or naturally go right or left, you know, open or closed. It's normally kept wide open, and when she went up there to turn the lights on, the door was about 3 inches of being completely shut. Wow. So it's hard to tell why, you know. That could be from the house, you know, the house's natural or pre-existing energies, if you will, or it could be because of what I've brought in. We kind of started this curiosity cabinet kind of off the cuff. These are items that I've personally found or in and around West Virginia, you know, on our investigations with Paranormal Quest, you know. It's the skull that was donated by an elderly gentleman from the Pittsburgh area and whatnot. So these are items that just to catch people's eyes when they come in, and hopefully maybe they kind of resonate with some of the energies.
And that's
the items.
That's a real human skull?
That is a real human skull, yes.
So basically, when people come in through the front door here to visit the archive, one of the first things they'll see is a real human skull.
Right out of the get-go. Yep.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah. So Annie here basically is one of our more highly visited relics here, and she's a positive element to the archive. And I'm just really happy that once we got into this new place, I could actually include her in the initial area. Once you walk into the museum, you're greeted by her right when you walk through the front door. Plus, whenever we're sitting here waiting for guests or answering guest question, you're kind of walking into Annie's living room in a way. It's how I wanted it to be. So, but again, if you want to learn more about Annie, check out the Finding Annie episode that is on our Paranormal Quest channel.
Yeah, it has the whole history.
Oh, yeah, it was really interesting. And we'll head this way, back to the Ward of Wars exhibit in the former West Virginia State Penitentiary room. Some of the items do carry their own energy, like the cap we have from the former West Virginia State Penitentiary. That's the actual execution cap, which was used for 9 executions between 1951 and 1959. We also have a Bible here. That Bible was in the cell with Eileen Warren, a serial killer, Florida. She was executed for, I forget how many murders, 6 or 7 murders. Can't remember off the top of my head, but that was her Bible on death row. This is just new to the archive here. You guys remember this, right?
Oh, yeah. That was pretty recent.
One of our recent investigations with the USS Salem. Dawn, our host, tour guide, was nice enough to donate this helmet to the archive here. And I'm finishing up a readout that'll go up here telling all about the USS Salem, promoting their paranormal and daytime tours, and promoting the history of the World War II cruiser. All right, this room here, it's an interesting room. A lot of people have expressed that they felt a lot of odd energy, odd vibes from this room right here. I'm not sure what it was used for when this was at home, but I have it now, and this is where I keep a lot of my funeral items. So we have a actual casket here. We did put a prayer kneeler for each casket. We have one for here and one over here for the wicker cooling casket.
And that wicker cooling casket, that would have actually been used because that was not a permanent resting place for whoever it was for. That was actually where they would keep bodies until the medical examiner or coroner could come and take their bodies. So more than likely there were bodies that were stored in that cooling casket.
Yeah, this room here, we've decided to put our stuffed animals. We do have Charlie. We put him in this room as well. The Delaware doll, she was put on loan by a fellow haunted collector named Darren 10. He's now from around Cincinnati area. Apparently, the doll was causing a lot of negative effects on himself, his household, his pet. So he asked me if I would keep it here. That way, he didn't have to have it in his house. So. The striped tiger here, we don't include the readout with him. It was from a very recent suicide case. I have the readout stored away along with the individual's hat and the hotel room card key that he had, which was the hotel room that he unfortunately committed suicide in.
That was donated by
the Foreman Brothers.
Yeah, that was donated by the Foreman Brothers, Paranormal Nightmare or Living Dead Paranormal. So shout out to them, those
Absolutely.
guys. That's where that striped tiger stuffed animal that came from one of their cases. So
in the episode it said now this tiger is now locked away in a haunted museum in Moundsville, and I'm like, I don't have it. I was completely confused, and I got a hold of Rocky. He said, yeah, we haven't mailed it to you yet. So I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, unless there's another paranormal museum in Moundsville, I don't know. But no, it's an interesting piece. A lot of people express a lot of sadness and depression. Yeah. They pick up off of that, and that's without a readout. We don't tell anyone about that item due to the sensitivity of it, and people still pick up on it. Basically, this room here, we just have our charged items. They're not negative. They're not necessarily positive, so to speak. So these items get their own area, their own room. Some of the more popular items in here would be the foot book. I personally still believe it is connected to one of 4 people who were unfortunately murdered in a quadruple homicide somewhat recently over around St. Clairsville area in Ohio. Back over here on these shelves here, these items that were either donated or I picked up energy off of on some of my trips, around the country and with you guys. So straight back ahead. There we go. This room here, it's a little bit smaller than the rest of them, but when I was doing my initial walkthrough of the house, getting used to the layout, trying to make up my mind if I thought it was going to work here, I felt pretty good about the place until I walked into this room. And the first thing I thought of when I walked into this room, I said, this is where I'm going to put the malevolently charged items. It was instantaneous. Instantaneous. As soon as I walked in, the threshold right over there, the first thing I thought of in this room is that this is where the cursed relics are going to go. And that's what I did. Some of these items in here come from my opinion, some of our most oppressively powered cases. The brick, the Savannah brick.
I heard something hiss. Yeah. I didn't even hear it. I swear on my life. Oh. This is the part that we're really... What the f***?
It sounded like a hiss.
I heard that one. My God. This is the part that we're really... This is the part that we're really... What the f***?
This right here, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the most oppressive items I have, along with... I mean, they all have their days when they're really, really nasty. Back here in the closet's probably one of the more charged items. In my opinion, it potentially might be a portal. And that's the haunted, or the cursed mirror from the Cursed Cabin series that we did down in Logan County, West Virginia.
The owner of the house, she actually said that people have died.
Yeah.
People that actually lived in this cabin, they left the property and they died because of that. They legitimately think there's a curse.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah. Yes, it certainly
This is the weirdest place I've ever been. Weirdest things that ever happened to me in, almost 20 years of investigating. This is the place where the weirdest stuff has ever happened to me. And probably David too.
That was an investigation where Jason got scratched, where, we all felt very oppressed by whatever energy was there, and...
You are...
Don't move. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because that was what I was first drawn to when I walked in here, is that particular mirror. And it sits back in that closet, and there's lots of stuff out here in this room, but for whatever reason, that mirror pulled me in.
I don't know. It's hard to explain that mirror. I sat here before when no one's here. It's like, if I'm out of this room, I dread coming to this room, entering this room. But once I'm in this room, I don't want to leave. I'll just sit in the chair. And then sometimes it's odd. I'll just find myself fixated looking at either Hope or the mirror. I don't know. Another item we have that a lot of people feel a lot of negativity off of is the 666 Bible that we have right down here. It was found down around, I think near Huntington, in a place called the Morris Memorial School for Crippled Children. I believe it's what the title was given to me by. The person who donated it, he was urbexing with a friend, found the Bible. When he found the Bible, there was an angel figurine on top of it. His friend took the angel figurine, he took the Bible, and everything was fine until he got home. And then once he took the Bible out of his urbexing bag, put it on his mantle at his house, within 3 days after taking the Bible out of his urbexing bag, within 3 days, his mom got sick, the family dog got sick, and his family cat died. On the third day, during which that time, he would periodically hear something, a disembodied voice whisper his name throughout his house. And then on the third day, while letting the dog out to do its business, the dog ran around to a part of the yard that he couldn't see from the back porch. Then he started hearing the dog barking, yelling, and growling and stuff like that. So he went toward where the dog was at to go see what was wrong. And as he walked toward it, the dog came back around the house from the hidden area, if you will, and ran past him and ran back into the house. So he kept walking to look back in the corner of the yard to see what was there. And he saw three-dimensional shadow figures standing inside of his yard. Being that happened, he contacted me and brought me the Bible and donated it the very next day. He did report that when he found it, and I left it the same way, the Bible was open to page 666. And on top of 667, there's actually singed and burn marks from when he found it. So 3 days, 3 family members got sick, and 3 shadow figures. 3, 3, 3. Mocking of the Trinity, a lot of people believe that to be. So, coincidental maybe, but I find it very interesting that that's one of the few items that I've physically held in my hands. Again, very few items that have actually turned my stomach while holding it. So that's a very charged piece right there. All right. Basically, this is the last stop on the little walkthrough we're doing here. This room here has a lot of our hospital items, asylum items, poor farm items, different things like that. This bed right here is from Eloise Psychiatric Hospital up in Michigan. The blanket, as you see, and the stool both came from Battle Creek Sanitarium. I'm not quite sure about this wheelchair, but that wheelchair came from Ohio Valley Medical Center up in Wheeling, West Virginia. Cool story with the little dress here, the Red Cross dress. This dress belonged to ex-Governor Arch Moore for the state of West Virginia. This was his wife's American Red Cross dress that she used during the World War II era when she used to volunteer for it. The 2 garments here and a few little items in here all came from Massillon State Hospital in Ohio. It came from their psychiatric cottage, from what I'm told.
And one of those is actually a used straitjacket, right?
Yes, this one right here with the straps on it. It's like a light restraint jacket, from what I was told.
Probably used to restrain patients at Massillon State Hospital.
Yes. Interesting fact here, I don't know if this is actual blood or not, but there's actual stains on the Red Cross dress too. I'll have to check. I'm not too up and up on IDing blood on items just yet. So there's an electroshock therapy device, a portable one down here. Locked in here until I get something to put it in. It's a nurse's gown with blood stains on it. That was donated by Jeff Fent. Big thanks to Jeff if you're watching this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you guys have any questions before we wrap up the walkthrough?
No, I think I'm really excited to get in here and start investigating and seeing if any of the entities from your items will come and speak to us, or entities that were already here from our first investigation of this house. I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm really excited to see what we get.
I know I've been too. Ever since I decided to go with this place, stay with this place, and started moving the items in, just been getting more and more excited about getting us all together and tackling it together and seeing what we get.
All right, let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, so we're getting ready to start abandonment here at Steve's new museum. We're going to see what happens while we're gone. We had a lot of very cool things happen the last time we were here before he actually bought the building. And with all of his new relics and haunted, cursed items and stuff in here, we're hoping to get a lot more activity. Now, right back in here, that is the mirror from the Cursed Cabin series. So, we're getting ready to leave for abandonment.
Okay. Rolling on that. Abandonment. Abandonment, the archive of the afterlife.
Whoa. It just went off on the child's casket.
It did?
Yeah, it just went off. Hello?
Guys! The child's casket REM pod just went off. How high did it go?
Hit the red.
It hit red?
Yeah, it was a red light.
My God. We literally, I just turned on
Yeah.
that camera.
Thank
It's a
God it
good
was
thing
recording.
it's a good thing I turned it on when I did.
Dude, it's charged, dude. It's freaking charged right here.
We
I've got
literally
chills all over me.
we literally just started abandonment here at the archive, and as I went into the war room to turn on this REM pod just hit red.
Oh, wow.
On the child's
He
casket.
just hit record, and I just turned the lights off and heading into the war room, like he said.
That camera caught it too.
Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
it's charged right here.
Yeah, that was wild. Literally,
No one was in the room.
I hit record on this and started.
Feel it? It's charged.
Light or second?
It hit red.
It hit the red light.
You're kidding.
I didn't even see the other colors, so I just turned around to see red on just the one red line on it.
Well, whoever did that, thank you very much.
Thank
We're going to be taking off here for a few minutes to give you your house back, your museum back, and if you're an entity or a spirit that followed Steve here from his old museum, he would, I'm sure, love it if you did that while we were gone, right, Steve?
Yeah. I didn't even see the other colors, so I just turned around to see red on just the one red line on it.
Well, whoever did that, thank you very much. We're going to be
Red light.
You're kidding.
I didn't even see the other colors, so I just turned around to see red on just the one red line on it.
Well, whoever did that, thank you very much. We're going to be
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, feel free to. Yeah, that's what this place is all about. It's for the entities who are already here and the entities that have come with the items.
Yes.
This is a haven for you all, so.
We got audio in here.
The Tascam is here, but it's not rolling yet. But just for everyone watching,
You can just walk
That-
into here.
trigger REM pod, which we have copper wire hooked to the antenna cable inside the REM pod because the antenna had broken off last year. So we took it apart and hooked copper wire to the antenna. Then we run copper wire with an alligator clamp and clamp it to whatever metal object we want. And it was clamped to that child's casket. That is an actual child's casket. And it's speculated maybe that was even used. As I walked into the war room to turn on that camera in there, that REM pod went off and hit red. So that's something you're going to want to watch for on abandonment to see if we have any more interaction with that. That was cool. That was wild.
The last day and a half. Whoa. It just went off on the child's casket.
It did?
Yeah, it just went off.
And you can see
It's just dragged.
that literally you touch the casket. You touch the casket and it goes off. So you know for sure that it is, something touching some energy with that casket. So that was pretty cool. We're leaving for abandonment now. Let's see what happens. So we are just getting started with the investigation. We returned from abandonment. This is the room, the funeral parlor room, where we had the trigger REM pod hooked up to the child's casket, and it ended up alarming, triggering all the way.
What the hell was that?
Oh no.
Did you move?
No.
That sounded like it was on the wicker casket.
Yeah, I just heard that. That was loud.
Sounded like someone running their fingers over the wicker.
where we had the trigger REM pod hooked up to the child's casket, and it ended up alarming, triggering all the way.
The hell was that?
Alarming, triggering all the way.
The hell was that?
I was pointing my camera right at it. But this is the room where that happened before we left for abandonment. Dave is not feeling well right now, so he's going to sit this first session out. He's going to rejoin us here in a little bit. Jason's running SLS. Steve and I have the night vision cameras, and we're going to see what we can capture. Who was it who just ran their fingers over this wicker casket? That's exactly what it sounded like. Is there someone here with us? We have some equipment set up that if you come over and try and touch it, it'll let us know that you're here. Was that you moving, Jason?
No, I haven't moved.
Did you move just there, Steve?
What's that?
No, it sounded like it came from over by Jason. Was that you moving, Jason? If you're here and you can hear my voice and you can see us, could you go stand in the doorway in front of Jason?
If there's anyone upstairs, would you be willing to maybe come to the top of the steps or down the steps towards me? It's like eerily quiet.
It is. It's very quiet in here.
It's unsettling.
Jason has a device in his left hand that if you walk up to it and talk, we'll be able to hear your voice. And if you have a message you want to send or something you want to tell us, that would be the way to do it.
If you can step out in front of me, I should be able to see you if you get close enough to me.
I'm afraid to take my camera off these steps.
Do you have an uneasy feeling over there, Steve?
I don't know. It's like on and off. It's like I want to get a few shots of the opposite direction in there with you guys, but I'm afraid to take the focus off at the top of the steps here.
Yeah.
Who's in here with us? Can you please tell us your name?
Is there anyone up here at the top of the steps that used to live in this house? If so, can maybe make yourself known by maybe stomping your foot or making a knocking sound?
Do you want to head upstairs, Jason?
Sure. I'll follow you up.
Wait. Ooh, I got a weird vibe in here.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That little one there in the little hectagonal shape glass enclosure. One's at the Jefferson Avenue location and one's at the Sanford location. 2 individual days, 2 individual people. Actually made the 2 ladies nauseous and they left.
Wow.
Yeah.
If anyone is up here and can hear our voices, we would love to hear you make a sound for us. If you'd be nice enough to knock on the wall or let us hear your voice. Is this building new to you, or have you been here for some time? Yes.
What?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you okay, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good God, he's scared.
We're upstairs. I'm at the top of the stairs.
Okay, he must be feeling better. He's coming back.
Good.
Here he is.
When we were in, I don't know if you heard, when we were downstairs in that funeral parlor room, I was standing right beside the wicker cooling casket doing an introduction, and it made that noise again like someone ran their fingers over the wicker. Where we had the trigger REM pod hooked up to the child's casket, and it ended up alarming, triggering all the way.
What the hell was that?
Oh, really?
I was pointing my camera right at it, and I was standing right beside it, so my camera had to have picked it up. It was really weird.
Whoever's attached to Charlie here, can you maybe cause the chair to rock a little bit, or maybe make a knocking sound near the chair that he's sitting in? Whoever's attached to the striped tiger, if you're here tonight and want to, could you make a knocking sound? Or let us know you're here? By maybe touching one of us or moving the chair?
Whatever I was feeling in here, I'm not feeling it anymore.
No.
Whatever I was feeling when I first walked in, it's not here anymore.
Okay. Want to try the next room?
Yeah. Continue our sweep down the hall here.
Sounds good.
He went straight to the malevolent room. Weird. He cut to the chase. This guy did. Skip 2 rooms right to the malevolent room. This is the room where they say all of the cursed items are, where Steve put all of the items that are supposedly negative, malevolent, cursed. Things that have caused people to get sick, things that have caused people to...
Where's Jason?
In here.
I just heard for sure footsteps in this room right here.
You did?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Things that have caused people to get sick, things that have caused people to...
Where's Jason?
In here.
What was it?
He heard footsteps in this room.
Oh, I thought Jason was in here. Oh, I thought Jason was in here. Hello? Were you just walking around in here? I don't know. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just...
No.
Has it mapped anything at all yet so far, Jason?
No. Nothing abnormal.
But it has mapped a couple things.
Yeah, a couple things, yeah. It's just like the door frame and about it.
Right in front of Jason right now is the mirror that used to reside in the cursed cabin.
Someone in there, you need to come on out and talk to us and show yourself. Are you from Logan County?
What?
I just got really off-centered.
Yeah, I saw you almost fell over. You alright?
Yeah, I don't feel nauseous or anything. I just was standing like this, looking in this room, and just kind of had to go like that.
I know, I saw you. I thought you were about to go down.
It's like my brain was registering. I'm going forward. I'm like, okay, why am I not stopping? Yeah, that was weird. That's a first in here. Who did that to me? I feel like a little bit of a cold, not a breeze, but just a presence like right in front of my face.
Who's around Steve right now?
You trying to throw Steve off center or push him over? You know he owns this house now. But you're, of course, more than welcome to stay.
Is there something near me, Jason? Can you see anything? I just got really cold.
Nothing that is showing as a signature.
It's like right here in front of me.
Everything about 3 feet in front and behind you.
So cold the hair on my head started to stand up.
If you're standing next to Ryan, would you be able to give us a sign, a sound, please?
Are you attached to the brick that Steve has sitting right over here? Are you attached to the brick from Moon River Brewing Company? When we sent that brick back from Savannah and we unpackaged it when it arrived in the mail, something hissed very loudly. This is the part that we're really... What the f***? Can you hiss like that again for us? That mirror is from the cursed cabin, so we had the idea of setting Jason in that closet and having him do an Estes session, listening to the spirit box through headphones and seeing if anything will come through and communicate with him. So we'll get that set up and get that rolling. All right. So Jason and I are here in the archive of the Afterlife alone. Jason is locked in the closet with the room from the cursed cabin. It's an artifact pulled from a location that he was violently attacked and scratched.
You are...
Don't move. 1, 2, 3.
I have the EDI plus meter sitting on top of the case with one of the most negatively charged dolls that Steve has in his collection. That doll has been seen moving multiple times. Heads moved on it, and also actually the doll was completely leaned over in a different position one day when Steve came into his old archive location. What was that? I don't know what that was. That was a weird sound. That sounded like a breath right behind me. Who's trying to breathe in my ear? What was that? Are you trying to touch the door handle? That door handle just clicked. And I shut it all the way too. What was that? What was that? Go ahead and open the door then. There's a box in there with Jason that if you walk up and talk through it, he'll be able to hear your voice. Can you say something to him? And I'm not only here to talk to whatever's attached to that mirror. I'm also here to talk to anything that's in this room or in this whole museum or in this house. And if you can come through, please come through and talk to us. Are you attached to one of the items? Or were you here in this house before? Is he all right? He's breathing really hard in there. What the hell's going on? Jason,
Yes.
you all right in there?
Yes, I've heard nothing.
Okay, I just heard you breathing really weird in there.
Well, I'm smelling like body odor or flatulence or something.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's not me, I know that.
Yeah, I'm not smelling anything out here.
Yeah, I don't know, I got a whiff. It just smelled like someone in here.
That's very creepy.
Yeah.
Who's in that small room with Jason? Who is he smelling?
Sounded like I just heard a door slam or something, like a thump come through the spirit box. Like a door or something, like a thump.
That's weird. Are you slamming a door? You can slam one of these doors. If you're predicting to Jason what you're going to do, you're more than welcome to slam a door. Nobody's gonna be mad.
Sounded like a male voice, very close but inaudible.
Who's the man that's come to talk? Who scratched Jason at the cabin a couple years ago? Who was that? Can you give us that answer? All right, I decided to back out for a little bit and leave the whole room to Jason so that he has some time and some space to just see what happens in there. I felt like me being in that room might have been crowding out someone that was in there that may want to speak. We'll find out. He's still got that camera rolling in there. So, hopefully something happens.
It's a male voice, but inaudible.
Who's speaking right now? You're gonna have to speak clearer for us. Which item are you attached to? Speak as loudly and as clearly as you can so that Jason can hear your voice. Jason,
Yes.
how long did we say we were going to do this for?
What was that?
How long did we say we were going to do this for?
I can't remember. Maybe like 25, 30 minutes. I'm not sure.
Okay, we're at 30 now.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Honestly, man, I've only heard a couple things. A couple of them both sounded kind of close, one more so than the other. Both were male, both were inaudible. Other than that, it's just gotten colder in here, which is probably just expected. But I don't know why, but probably I would say 10, 15 minutes in, when you heard me breathing really hard, it just smelled like all of a sudden, it wasn't pleasant, but it smelled like a body odor or like a flatulence smell or something. Obviously, if it was me, I know it wasn't me, so it just smelled like someone's scent in here, and it wasn't a pleasant scent, but it was a human scent, and it lasted for a couple minutes.
Brandon. Dave and I are here in the World of Wars and former West Virginia State Penitentiary room. We're going to try to make communication with anyone willing to communicate with us tonight, so we're going to get things set up here. We'll put the REM pod. Let's put the REM pod on top of the new exhibit we have. This is a helmet from the USS Salem. All right, again, my name's Steve. This is my good friend Dave. We're here to communicate with anyone who wishes to communicate with us. If anyone's here, you'd like to communicate, firstly, would you please come close to my hand here? There's a device in my hand with a little green light on it, and you might be able to light up more lights on it if you come close to it and reach out and touch that device.
We would love for anybody who's here to come and speak with us. Anybody in the entire building, the entire house, you can come in here and speak with us. You know Steve.
Is there anyone here from the USS Salem? If so, there's a device on top of the case right above the helmet, the medic helmet. Can you go close to that device? It's got a little red light on it.
Come on, guys. We really just want to speak with somebody. We just want to know that somebody's here speaking with us. So if you could use any of these devices in here to communicate with us, you can do that at any time.
We have to remember sometimes some of the people here may not speak English or know English. Especially with the medic helmet, you know. They had that earthquake off the coast of Greece that the USS Salem was called upon to become basically a floating hospital. And many of the victims, being, you know, Greek citizens, didn't survive their wounds, their injuries.
Did you hear that?
Where from?
It sounded like a voice came from over there. Like right by the camera.
Like a whisper? That wasn't you?
No.
Greek citizens didn't survive their wounds, their injuries.
Did you hear that?
Didn't survive their wounds, their injuries.
Did you hear that?
You can come in here if you want to. My name's Steve, and again, that's Dave. You mean no harm, no disrespect.
Do you like that somebody's moving back into this house here?
So quiet.
It is very quiet.
To me, it's almost like it's unsettling, because I'm trying like not to think back of like the previous investigation and what happened in this room.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Whoa. It just came back on.
Holy sh!
Are you kidding me?
It's whoever that turned the light on and off last time we were here. Are you here? Get chills.
Come on out and speak with us.
How do you feel about having these new energies and entities brought into the house? I needed a place to move them to, and it worked out with this place. I hope it's okay. You want to break with the camera?
Come on, we're going to have to go here soon. It's getting very, very late for us. Is there any chance that you could just come out and say hello to us? A knocking sound, whistling, anything?
Eileen Warnos. Eileen, if you're here, or I think you preferred being called Lee. If you're here and if you want to, of course, could you maybe just say your nickname, your first name, or someone maybe you really cared for in life? Please?
I just got cold chills really bad.
I did too, but I was standing there. Eileen, are you trying to make communication with us? Are you next to Dave? If you are, maybe could you maybe knock on the wall or the case on your Bible?
Can you hear us? Can you see us? I just got like a really weird sense of sadness all of a sudden.
Oh yeah?
I don't know why.
Who's affecting Dave? Would you please tell us your name?
Who is that?
There we go, a little knocking sound.
Did you?
A little faint.
Someone's letting me pick up on their energy. What's your name? We're gonna have to go ahead and turn everything off and leave you. We'll give you one final opportunity to let you get your message across. Can you do that now?
You guys ready to pack it up for the night?
Let's do it.
We got a lot of cool locations coming up in the near future. We have some really cool investigations with some really cool people coming up. And so make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that like button. Definitely turn on those bell notifications to be alerted every time that we upload a new video. And until next time, guys, catch you on the flip side.
Now at the archive, we offer day tours Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. during our on-season hours, which is April 1st through November 30th. We also offer paranormal night tours for both public and private. So if you'd like to book a private night tour, feel free to contact us through our Facebook means in the descriptions below. And on behalf of the spirits here at the archive and myself, we look forward to seeing you very, very soon.